Hello, Pokemon trainers. Welcome back to another Pokemon Scarlet and Violet video here on iStarly TV. This is a new series that I'm trying out. By the way, I am a Blaziken, so hello. But yeah, this is a new series that I wanted to try out with this brand new metagame with Regulation F, and I'm trapped here, by the way. But let me just get to it. So I've done similar series in the past, and basically I just want to do little showcases of Pokemon and little short videos that showcase a Pokemon, basically. So just a little bit of backstory here. I used to do a blog a long time ago, I think around the black and white era of Pokemon. I had a blog where I would post Pokemon movesets for Battle Stadium, and it was really fun. Or I think it was also for like OU at the time. But basically that's what I would do. I would post movesets. I'll actually maybe I'll post a link to that blog. It's really old and it's outdated and I haven't uploaded in a long time, but it was a fun project and I enjoyed doing that. So I wanted to do something like that in video form. And so I want to do a series of videos here where I show off a Pokemon and talk about an EV spread or like a moveset for that Pokemon for Battle Stadium singles on, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And this first video, we're showing off Blaziken here, and I have a moveset that I wanted to talk about for Blaziken. I think Blaziken has a lot of potential in Battle Stadium singles. It's a really strong Pokemon, especially because of speed boost. So let's talk about what Blaziken has going for it. So Blaziken is a fire and fighting type. It's got 120 attack, which is very good. 110, I believe, special attack, which is also pretty solid, pretty well-rounded. It has 80 base speed, which is not good. And then its defenses are also not particularly good. But it has the ability Speed Boost, as I mentioned, which is very good. Like, that's good on just about any Pokemon. And on a Pokemon with as high of offensive stats as Blaziken, as well as such a great offensive typing in fire and fighting, Blaziken really just is a strong Pokemon. It's been very good in previous generations of Battle Stadium singles. So I know that if you run Blaziken, there's a lot of like kind of standards, like, you're probably going to run Flare Blitz, probably Close Combat, you're definitely going to run Speed Boost, you'll probably run Protect just to guarantee a Speed Boost, stuff like that. But this set in particular, like I said, is one that's very different. So let's go ahead and talk about my bulky Blaziken set. So this spread here, I've run a bunch of calcs. I've done a lot of calcs against a lot of the most common Pokemon in the meta, and the goal with this set is to survive hits and set up, get your your defense and your attack pretty high so that you can tank hits really well from physical attackers and obviously do massive damage in return. And because of speed boost, you are just incrementally boosting your speed, so it's very feasible that you'd get to a point in the battle where you're faster than everything and you can just sweep from there. So let's talk about the EV spread. So we've got max HP, which makes sense for a Pokemon when we're trying to go bulky. Again, Blaziken's defenses are not great, but they're also not awful. It's not like paper thin, but it's not great. And then I have just enough defense here with an impish nature so that we can actually take on Pokemon like Dragonite and Qianpao and Urshifu a little bit better. Now, here's the funny thing. I've run a bunch of calcs here. With Urshifu, the water type Urshifu, we can actually, now this is not 100% true, or this is not 100% of the time, but we have a chance to survive a Surging Strike from Urshifu, which is pretty insane. And then we get the Citrus Berry proc and we can knock them out with Acrobatics if we Terrastalize. If we Terrastalize before the Surging Strikes, we definitely survive it, but even if we don't Terrastalize, we do have a chance to survive a Surging Strike from Urshifu. A chance, like I said, you're not always going to survive it. But that's why I went Terra Flying here. So we have Terra Flying, which covers Blaziken really well. It removes our ground type weakness and makes it actually into an immunity. So if we're expecting an Earthquake from Dragonite or Landorus, we just Terrastalize and it does 0 damage to us. If we're expecting a strong fighting type move, we can Terrastalize and end up resisting it. And even Pokemon that have like super effective like water moves, we survive them a lot better by going Terra Flying. Offensively, it's also really good because it deals a lot of damage with acrobatics. And that's why I chose Citrus Berry as the item. Citrus Berry is a good item for a bulkier Pokemon. And again, that's our goal here, is to survive a hit, get a little bit of recovery with Citrus. And then since we no longer have an item, Acrobatics will be 110 base power. And Acrobatics combines really nicely with Blaze Kick and Earthquake for coverage. Obviously I'm running Blaze Kick here because even though it's less powerful and less accurate than Flare Blitz, obviously Flare Blitz deals damage to us, and our goal is survivability, so, you know, that's why I'm running Blaze Kick. You could try to run Flare Blitz on this set. I think there's a possibility for that, like, you know, maybe, I mean, this is Battle Stadium singles, and there's only 3 Pokemon on the enemy team, so, you know, if you can get to a situation in a game where you knock out one of their Pokemon, and then you go into Blaziken and start setting up, you know, 2 Flare Blitzes to knock them out, like, that's all you need at that point. Like, it doesn't matter how much damage you're taking if their Pokemon are dead, right? So, yes, you definitely could run Flare Blitz, but Blaze Kick is a little safer, obviously. And then finally, we have Earthquake. Now, between Earthquake and Acrobatics, you could run a fighting type move. Unfortunately, we do not get Drain Punch, so you could run Close Combat, which hits really hard, but similar to Flare Blitz, it does weaken us, which makes it easier for the opponents to do more damage to us. So that's something to consider. The only other fighting type move that Blaziken gets is Brick Break, which obviously is a lot less powerful. You have a lot of options, but I just went with the moves that are going to allow us to survive a lot longer. And then finally, of course, we do have Bulk Up here, and Bulk Up will let us set up, even if you set up just one Bulk Up, you're going to do a lot of damage, especially with, if you've gotten your Citrus Berry activated and you can go for the flying, Terra Flying boosted Acrobatics. So yeah, that's kind of the set for this Blaziken. You know, there's definitely a lot of variations you can make, but I settled on this one, and when I've been testing it out, it's felt really good. And again, when you're bulkier like this, you know, sometimes you just really surprise people and they don't expect you to survive a hit, right? If Urshifu's going for Surging Strikes and they don't knock you out, they're going to be really surprised, especially if you do knock them out with the Acrobatics right after. So again, just as far as Calcs are concerned, if that is the situation, I think in general you want to avoid Urshifu, but again, there is a chance you can survive Urshifu's Surging Strikes even if you do not Terrastalize. Make sure you do Terrastalize first. Well, I mean, if they do not Terrastalize, you can kill them with Acrobatics, but if they do Terrastalize into a water type, that is where you're going to have a lot of trouble. If they go Terra Water against you, there's kind of nothing you can do. Their Surging Strikes will definitely kill you if they go Terra Water, and your Acrobatics will not kill them anymore if they go Terra Water, because they're not weak to it anymore. So Urshifu's a Pokemon, like, if you're worried about that, definitely make sure you have 1 or 2 Pokemon on your team that can help you deal with something like Urshifu. Other Pokemon that are going to give this Pokemon trouble are going to be physical defenders, so defenders with high HP. Although, you know, if you think of some really good physical defenders like Garganacl or Corviknight or Skarmory, Blaziken has good moves for those, right? You got Earthquake for Garganacl, for example. You got Fire moves for the Steel types. So that's why Blaziken's typing's really good. Maybe something like Gliscor could be a problem because you don't have any like super effective moves, and they could do they could make your day, you know, into a living nightmare by poisoning you with Toxic. And even if you go Terra Flying to ignore their Earthquakes, you know, they're still going to be racking up that damage on you. So basically you want some strong special attackers to help you deal with those physical tanks. Even though a lot of, you know, physical defenders Blaziken has super effective moves for. Dragonite's another Pokemon that's a little annoying for Blaziken. You know, they're not going to do that much damage to you because you're setting up bulk ups, and when you go Terra Flying, you take 0 damage from their Earthquakes. But you're also not really doing that much damage to Dragonite. I guess once you have a boost or 2, you can start going for Acrobatics, and that's probably when you'll start getting a lot of damage against Dragonite. But Dragonite's another Pokemon that's pretty scary. Also, status is rough, like Paralysis, so you might want to run Lumberry if you're interested. So that is my bulky Blaziken set. Like I said, this video series is just to kind of give you a quick little video showcasing this Pokemon. If you're interested, let me know and I can build a team around it. And since this is the first video in the series, let me know what other things you'd like to see in a video like this. Like maybe if you'd like to see a battle or 2 showcasing this moveset, you know, you can let me know in the comments. Just give me any suggestions you have for improving this series. But I did think this would be a lot of fun, and it would allow me to get more content out while also kind of focusing on fun things like giving you kind of movesets and Pokemon spreads that you don't typically see in Battle Stadium singles. So feel free to try this moveset out for yourself, Bulky Blaziken, and let me know in the future how it goes for you. So thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please leave a like and subscribe for more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet videos. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And also Blaziken hopes you have a wonderful day. So thank you.